In this Minecraft video, I'm going to carry on my attempt of surviving 100 days in Minecraft, with the twist that 3 of my friends spend the entire time trying to hunt me down and kill me. I've already survived 50 days, which you can watch either in the description or in the card at the top right, and I'm about to attempt to survive the remaining 50. Can I do it? Well, you'll have to watch and find out. Quickly before I begin though, just a casual reminder to maybe subscribe since the majority of you aren't, and thanks for all the support recently. Let's get back into it. Picking it back up where I left off on day 51, I made a villager breeder. The village that I found was unfortunately tiny and it had like 4 villagers tops, so I started breeding them. Luckily the village was stacked with hay bales, so I was able to get all the hay bales, turn them into bread, and give them to the few villagers that were in the pen. Now I just gotta leave them to it and we would be good to go. Once I had that done, it was day 52 where I started brewing the potions. I made speed and poison potions. However, despite my early attempts to get some melons, I still didn't have any. And so back to the jungle that I found all the way on day 3. Got there on the morning of day 53, grabbed a bunch of melons and then headed back. I got back, started making some health potions, but realized that I had no gunpowder, and so I decided to spend the majority of the night getting splash potions thanks to the gunpowder. It took all night, but 10 gunpowder later, and yeah, I think that'd be enough. I was making all the splash potions I need when I woke up on day 54, and I carried on breeding the villagers by getting more bread. It was a very slow process, but it was definitely something worth doing. Also, those who remember from last time, one of the villagers in the village actually had a mending book trade, so I started trading with him, and by the end of 54 I had myself 3 mending books. Only 3 more to go. And just to save a little bit of time, it was day 56 where I got the final mending book needed. Now because of the 42 levels that I had, I was able to apply all the stuff to my armor with little to no problem. Now all my armor has mending on it with my axe and pickaxe, and hopefully my gear will never break. I would have put it on my bow as well, but remember my bow has infinity, so I'll have to do that the old fashioned way, just with an anvil. After that I got myself some lecterns and started doing some classic villager manipulation. On day 57, would you look at that, a protection 4 book. That was 100% going to be worth it, so I went back to trading for emeralds because protection 4 full diamond armor, man, that was going to be perfect. Whilst I am doing the trades, I just want to give a quick heads up. It was about this time that we made the agreement that we're not going to go for netherite gear and tools. We just thought that we didn't want it to get too overpowered and the fights to last too long, so we decided to limit ourselves with just diamond armor. So the reason why I or the hunters never get netherite in this run is simply because, well, we just agreed not to do it. Anyway, I got all the trading I needed on day 59 and went to put the 4 protection books on all of my armor. Protection 4, unbreaking 2, and mending on my armor is just fantastic. It was day 60 where I went on the hunt for horses and wolves. I needed the pack street back alright, and so I headed off into the world. I was able to get a horse on day 61, so traveling the world was going to be a bit quicker, but I still was searching for the wolves. It was day 63 where I was still looking for wolves, and still nothing, I'm afraid. I did actually find a desert temple though, which admittedly had nothing worthwhile in it. Really wasted time going down there, let's be honest. In fact, I'm pretty sure we can all agree that this venture was a waste of time. I don't think I'm going to get the pack street back, and so it was time for me to head home. As I was heading home on day 64, I decided to help global warming and cause a little bit of deforestation. I just thought if I got an overabundance of apples, I'll never ever have to do this again, and so I just started cutting down every tree. Here we are waking up on day 67 where I had over 20 apples. I wish I could show you more of my epic tree cutting montage, but let's be honest, this is Minecraft Manhunt, not tree cutting simulator. Actually, I wonder if that's even a game. Okay, I looked it up. Apparently there is multiple tree cutting simulators out there, because of course there is. So if you ever get bored of YouTube Minecraft Manhunt, you can always go to tree cutting simulator, because you know, of course you can. Still need to get my axe from sharpness 3 to sharpness 4 or 5. Then I remember that Austin also had a sharpness 3 axe that I picked up from the last fight, and so I decided to combine those 2 together. It did cost a lot of levels, but no biggie. A sharpness 4 mending axe was just going to be so good, especially at full durability. On day 69, well, I'll be honest with you, the hunters gave me a little bit of a hint that they was coming to attack me when they said, "Hey Haven, we're coming to attack you." I know it's very subtle, but I think I managed to crack the code on that one. And so I made a bunch of golden apples, and I also stacked up on all the potions. I didn't really want a re-nuking of the village, so I decided to run away from the village as far as possible. I don't want to have to find a new village, and I'm sure my villager brethren don't want to get, nuked, let's say. And so I moved into the world and just waited for them to come and attack me. I did the same for 17 and 71. I was nervously just waiting around. There's not really much I could do except wait for the imminent attack. Me and the good old horse, who I still haven't given a name, which I won't give a name because you can assume what happens next, was just running around. And once it hit day 72, I saw the hunters for the first time, and well, here we go. For the first time in 69 days, I saw Chris with the other 2 hunters. and oh my god, it was terrifying. It's now time for me to tell you what Chris was doing for all that time. Whilst Austin and Marvin were spending their time attacking me, Chris was in the background, mining diamonds and getting multiple sets of really good diamond armor. That was going to be more important in the later fight, but man, I was really scared for this one. I thought the mountain would give me the advantage, but unfortunately not, because I just can't see past the bloody horse's giant head. I tried taking the lower ground when... Is Austin shooting fireworks at me? Did he forget to add the firework star? For those who don't know, when you want to shoot a firework from a crossbow, you have to have a firework star, and he he forgot to do that. To be fair, I didn't know that was a thing. I thought you could just use any firework. However, I'm the one who's commentating the video, so can we all just point and laugh at him in the comment section? Because that'd be really funny. Anyway, back to it. Honestly, keeping my distance at this time was really hard. Every chance I got, Marvin just constantly tried to flank me. Basically bottlenecking me into certain locations. I was forced into just going down one route. And because of that, the horse, well, it took one big fat L. Literally less than 2 minutes into the fight. I don't even know why I bring horses to these things. Now, I'll be 100% honest with you. I didn't think that I was going to win this fight. 3 moving targets, all of them with armor as arguably as good as mine, all with different strategies and skill sets trying to take me out. There's surely no way that I can win this 3v1 fight. At least that's what I thought when I started this fight when I lost the horse. Even with the potions, it was still such a one-sided fight. I managed to get Marvin with a poison potion head on, but his punch bow was able to keep me at bay. And it was just constantly me running away and waiting for an opportunity to hopefully split them up. And that opportunity wouldn't come for a very long time. I just felt like I was target practice for these nerds. It was so bad. Even when I was hitting the poison potions and getting the combos on them, I just couldn't put them down. I'd hit one of them really low and then suddenly the other 2 would come in and save the day. It was just, I just wasn't gonna win. I needed a miracle. Like when the Phantoms attacked Austin and got Chris away. Or when they had more armor and I was able to get them in that trap. I just needed one little thing to turn the tide of the battle and give me the advantage. And you know what that miracle was, my friends? It was my good buddy Austin being a moron. Me, Austin, and Chris got into a melee scuffle. I quickly backed out of the melee scuffle, and for one reason or another, Austin thought that Chris was me, and so Austin did me the biggest favor possible, and whilst Chris was low, accidentally killed him, making the fight 2v1. Now, technically speaking, if we don't count the lack of armor, I've never really won a 3v1 fight. But a 2v1 fight? Lads, I've done that plenty of times. It still wasn't going to be easy. I'm not going to take any credit away from them. These guys know what they're doing. Marvin's punch bow was not making life fun either, and Austin was being the biggest nuisance with his crossbow. Marvin is still using a sword. After failing to target and kill Austin, I decided to try and change my target to Marvin, but there was no way of me taking one of these guys out without the other doing plenty of damage first. We was well into the night, and I realized that even when I was able to get them 1v1, even when I was able to do massive amounts of damage, there was just no way I could actually kill them without the other one getting in the way. With no potions left and only 1 golden apple, I finally managed to separate them and finally get Marvin on the run. I knew he was low. He was doing that block spam thing, you know, when you place it underneath you when you're trying to escape something. He ran out of blocks. I got him pinned against a cliff and finally killed Marvin. And just like last time, it was 1v1. And just like last time, when Marvin goes down, Austin follows suit. And somehow, I survived this fight, and just wow, oh my god, it was so difficult. If any slight thing went wrong, there was no way I was going to win that fight. I needed a miracle upon a miracle upon a miracle, and I just managed to squeak through on day 72. Whew, boy. Alright then, let's carry on day 73, when I was sorting through the stuff, and I was just thinking, how in the world did I survive that fight? There's no way I'm gonna win another fight, especially considering the backup armors they have, and the gear that they have. Even if I do kill them, they'll just come straight back at me. They have 25 more days to prepare for one final fight if we assume they're coming on 98, but they probably will come sooner. Hell, even if I survive the fight, it's gonna take about 5 days for me to kill them. It's gonna take them about 5 days. The final fight's gonna last about 5 days. Wait a second. Editor Haven, do me a favor, take it back to the start for me. In this Minecraft video, I'm going to survive 100 days in Minecraft. But here is the twist. 3 of my friends are going to spend the entire time trying to hunt me down and kill me. If I die for whatever reason, they win. If I survive to day 100, I win. If I survive to day 100, I win. So let's go through the rules really quickly when it comes to Minecraft Manhunt. The rule number 1 is that I'm not allowed to just run for the hills. Rule number 2 is that whenever the night happens, I can force the hunters to sleep so they don't force me to wait out the nights. Rule number 3 is if I die for any reason whatsoever, then they win. However, rule number 4 is that if I reach day 100 in Minecraft, then I win. There is no rule that says that I have to kill them in the final fight. I just have to survive to day 100. Minecraft has a day 0, which means day 99 is day 100. So if I make it through day 99 and the timer turns to day 100, I win the video. Listen, I know there's going to be some people who are annoyed by that, and that's why I was talking about the controversial ending at the start of the video. It's a cop-out. Absolutely is a cop-out. But are you telling me that I can take these 3 with full everything after 50 days of preparing even longer? It's just not going to happen. And so I needed to come up with a plan. Just some plan that would set me up in a way that would not only buy me the time that I needed, but also make it look like I'm fighting them, not give them the idea of what's going on. If only I could set up a location, be able to escape the location, go thousands of blocks away, forcing them to travel a very long way away, and slowly burn down the days until the timer turns to 100. And I think I came up with a really good plan. We haven't traveled to the end yet, but with a little bit of ender pearl grinding and blaze rod hunting, I was able to find the end portal, enter the end, and kill the dragon. All the levels, I was able to improve my gear as well as combine a couple of extra books to really pump them up to the max. I jumped to the overworld because my initial plan was just to get the levels, but then I realized that when you jump through the end portal, you get put back to your initial spawn, and so now my plan about the teleporter could work. Here's the plan. I'm gonna set up a base at the end portal. I'm gonna have a nice drop down and drop into the end. I'm gonna delay some time in the end by looking for a fight, but when it gets too much, I will jump into the end portal and leave. Actually, now that I think about it, is the portal back in the end portal called an overworld portal? Never really thought about that. Once I jump back into the overworld, I will spawn in a location where my bed was last placed. So if hypothetically, if I set up a nice little spawn area in this ice spikes biome, which is, for the record, very far away from the end portal, and then set up an extra escape plan, for example a boat on top of a tower, well then maybe, just maybe, I could buy myself enough time to escape. I stacked up the potions at the second location as well, just in case I needed them, and well, my plan was ready. I was going to wait for them to come for me at the end portal. I was going to escape into the end. I was going to jump into the overworld portal when things got too much. I was going to wait for them at the ice spikes, and when they got to the ice spikes, I was going to try and hold out as long as possible. After all the effort was done, after everything was prepared, after everything was good to go, it was day 92. And now there is nothing for me to do except wait. And so I waited. And waited. And waited. And then, on day 95, I waited some more. And then, on day 96, here we go. I saw them approaching and honestly didn't know what to expect. Was I really going to be able to escape them for 4 whole Minecraft days? Without sleep, that's nearly the equivalent of 2 hours of real life time. I knew that I was going to have to buy so much time. However, I'm fully committed to this plan of just surviving to the end, and so it was time for me to do the fight. My original base on top of this mountain was so quickly spawned. Chris took my tactic and brought every single wolf possible to the human party. I would say he calls them the pack, but I'm fairly confident if I did, he'd stab me. And since I was very quickly overwhelmed, it was already time for me to run into the end. However, Austin saw what I was trying to do and managed to block up the hole that I was going to use before I could drop down into it. I had to back up a little bit and obviously reposition myself, but I was able to drop into the end. I also covered my tracks with a little bit of stone that I smelted, waiting for them to come, and though it only bought me a couple of minutes, I'm sure those minutes are going to be so precious in the long run. When they finally got into the end, I did try and ambush them, but not only did I miss, I also attracted the attention of this lovely Enderman. It's just hard being this good at Minecraft. It's just hard being a pro Minecrafter like myself. I think Austin had a bit of an idea of what I was trying to do, and so he instantly covered up the overworld portal. It wasn't going to be too much of an issue, it was just a bit of a nuisance. That's kind of just what Austin has been in this entire 100 days video, just a massive nuisance to me. They were constantly pushing me back in the end. Every single shot, it felt like it hit me. The Enderman was swarming me constantly. Honestly, this went on for a while, me running away and making it look like I'm actually trying to fight them, but honestly, if I did fight them head on, I don't think I would have lasted very long. Over the fights as well, I was able to get myself a couple of ender pearls, and when they pushed me all the way to the edge, I decided it was finally time to make my move. And so with ender pearls in hand, I tried to pull off my escape over to the overworld portal. I was just about to escape when Austin pearled after me, getting me pretty decently low, though luckily I was able to escape. I popped into bed and woke up the next day, and here we are on 97, and part 1 of the 2-part plan is now complete. There was nothing left for me to do but wait. And wait, I did. Here is a beautiful part of this plan. Now, as I mentioned earlier, Chris's plan this entire time was to set up as much diamond armor as possible and just keep coming after me even if they died. And so they actually set their spawn about 300 blocks away from where the end portal was. And so if I didn't have this plan, they would have just been able to come straight after me after I killed them. But because I'm so far away now, they won't be able to pull off their full diamond plan. And so basically, Chris's existence in this 3v1 manhunt has been a lot of effort with little result. On day 99, with all the potions restocked up from the chest, they came straight at me. I tried to climb the ladder and keep my distance, but Austin was able to instantly stop me with a nice little ender pearl. I'll give him credit there. I tried to knock him off the ladder, however, his punch bow was able to knock me off the ladder, stopping me from getting up. And so I didn't initially have a plan B, but I initiated plan B and I started swimming like my life depended on it, which I guess it kinda did. They had boats, however, and so they was always able to catch up to me. Thanks to the ice spikes, though, I was able to make it very difficult for them to track me that easily. Fortunately, though, they did have my quad, so every positive comes with a negative. I tried every play under the sun. I jumped into their boats. I tried to steal their boats. I was actually able to steal their boats from the boats they originally came from, but they was able to just take the boats out every time. Chris was just such a good shot at shooting boats, apparently. What a useless skill that is. Even after everything that I was doing, it just wasn't buying enough time for me. In a desperate attempt, I tried to climb my tower yet again, and as I was climbing the ladders, I got to the top. Now that I had my boat up here, I was just gonna hold off as much as I can. But then, just when I was waiting for a miracle happened. I was cowering at the top of the ladders, raining down arrows on the hunters, and apparently I got one really good shot on Austin, and Austin fell and died. And though they set up the beds at the initial end portal, they didn't set up the beds at the ice spikes, meaning Austin was thousands of blocks away in the pouring rain, and there was no chance he was getting back to me in time. It was now 2v1, and I actually contemplated maybe I should just take them head on. Could I potentially kill both Chris and Marvin in a 2v1 fight? However, I decided it's probably best to stick to my initial plan since I really wasn't actually prepared for a 2v1 fight like I was in the past. And so, thanks to my Skyblock, I was able to escape, and I got on top of the largest ice spikes I could find and tried to keep my distance. I was still contemplating whether I wanted to actually attack them head on and try and win this with a triple kill, but it was very clear how little damage I was doing even when I was hitting them with my bow. Like, seriously, they was even telling me that I was doing next to nothing for them. And so, run like a coward was definitely the play to make here. Eventually, they managed to knock me off the ice spikes and the chase was back on. They attacked multiple times, and even as I was swimming away, I noticed the best thing I've ever noticed in Minecraft. The sun was rising. Could I actually pull this off? Could I actually just keep running and win a Minecraft man in 100 days by just running like a coward? It was so close, and they were surrounding me, and I had to be very careful as my health actually started to drop a lot lower than it had done in a while. But after being able to escape one last time, I pressed F3, checked the day counter, and it was done. And it's safe to say they were less than pleased. Oh, hey, guys, time out. I won.
Well, no, you didn't.
You're
still... What?
No, F3. I won.
No, you gotta finish the fight. That's not how this works.
No. The rule was always, if I make it to day 100, I win. I won.
No.
Yeah.
No, you gotta finish the fight.
No, I won.
What? Oh my god.
That's the rule. I've always said the rule is.
It's down to a 2v1 and he's trying to pull this.
No! The rule was always, if I make it to day 100, I win! That's the rule!
I don't remember signing anything that said that.
You agreed to it when we did
That's
fight
true.
1v1!
We've never
established
this rule before.
So what do you think the rule should be? That I have to win this fight?
Yes.
Of course.
No, that doesn't make sense. I survived
or
100...
successfully get away.
No! You guys have a quarters all the time, so that'd be impossible.
Yeah, but like if you get away.
No, the rule has always been, it's not I survived 100 days to do one epic fight, it's I survived 100 days in Minecraft whilst being hunted. If I make it to day 100, I win. Good game though.
Sounds like a loser mentality.
Yeah. He's just like a loser.
That's
He knows he's losing.
Loser boy.
Why do you think?
Loser boy. Loser.